You the one, so I'm the one. So in order to tell what I need, I took that phone, I dropped it on their table. And you know, like, wow. One of them wanted to grab it. I said, no. He said, no, I just want to have a feel. I said, okay, go ahead. He looked at it, and then now my confidence, everything, you know. That's what you in everything you do, you first market, you first brand yourself. So my branding was to go with that phone and talking with this confidence that I could do it. Then I didn't have the money to do it, you know, to be honest with you. I didn't have money to do 5,000. We were only bringing like 200, 400 units. And somebody's asking me to bring 5,000 units of Siemens 835. So it was like, oh, come on. The guy said, look, if you can do it, we pay you on delivery. If you deliver it at Oregon, it's somewhere in Ikeja. If you deliver it, the day you deliver it, we pay you the money. So, and this was going to be a big mileage in my life. So what I did was that I called my cousin. I said, look, I'm going to tell you how to go to Dubai. I'll buy a ticket, and I was drawing the whole map. I'll tell you where the plane will stop on transit, how they will take off, what will happen, when you get there. You go to one man, they call, so, I don't want to mention his name here. Just drop your passport. And I called the guy, I said, I'm bringing my cousin. His passport will be the lien, it will be the collateral. Just hold his passport. If you send these goods to me and I don't pay you, hold him there until I come to release it, then you can lock me up. So I kind of, you know, there was this confidence in me. And the guy saw this confidence and said, wow. Then my cousin got that, he dropped his passport. That was my collateral. So the guy said he was going to send it. An Iranian. He has large heart for business. And that's how integrity works. Because all the while I was doing business with him for like 6 months, I would pay him, he would give me goods, you know. We are just doing good business. We have established that relationship. And I want to warn anybody that is listening to me here, you know, your impression, the impression you make on people matters a lot. You don't know who will recommend you. It's very important that you pay attention to that. Integrity. Let your yes be yes anytime. Let your no be no anytime. If you want to say no, mean it. Say no. Don't be, you know, don't flip flop about life. Life is not that way. You can't make any headway with that kind of attitude. So the guy now sent the 5,000 units. I don't want to tell you what happened. But all I know is that as I was driving, I was the one driving the bus. I'll drive the L300 Mitsubishi. There was nothing like doing big man. I went there. As I was going, my heart was panting, and I said to myself, how am I going to carry these things? Too much. What about if criminals will waylay us? So I stopped over at Area F in Ikeja, and I asked the DPO to give me police cover, and I was going to pay. They gave me 2 police cover. After I explained myself, they said, oh, I can see what you are doing worth some millions, so much millions. They gave me police cover. We went there, went to 2 buses. They carried the thing. We delivered it at the accredited office. Accredited tested it, confirmed it, okay, stamped our whatever. And I was like, oh, I made it. The first thing I did was that I called that guy. Okay, he said, no, sir, I'm supply. He said, Namdi, I can't believe what I'm hearing. I didn't want to come there because I thought it was going to be a show of shame. And you have done it. I say, yeah, I've done it. They got express this can't have. They said the next day I will get my money. The next day I saw my money. Wow. And I had to, you know, check everything immediately. Came to Dubai, and from there and there. All of a sudden, I found out that, wow, I have in excess of $1 million and above in dollars. I said, how did I get here? And the business started expanding. So what happened is that the first attack was the guys that were supplying internet who believed that nobody would do it. Now ask me, they call me from UK and they say, hello, are you so and so? Because I left my number with Econet. They say one boy supply. So they were so furious. So they called me. I said, are you so and so? I said, yes. He said, did you pull this deal? I said, don't ask me. And another advice, keep your whatever to your chest, you know, your gain, keep it to your chest. They said, how did you do it? I said, I can't tell you. And they say, okay, if I will get, you know, if I will meet them when they visit Nigeria, they want to talk with me. I said, well, the meeting will be in my office. You know, when the business get to that level, let the meeting be in your office. Yes. They say, okay, we apply, the meeting will be in your office. And that day, the guy came, an Englishman. He was looking into my eyes, and I was looking at him. He said, young man, You did it? I said, what do you mean that I did it? That is business. He said, you know, he now introduced himself. But before he walked out, he shook my hand and said, there's something you know that others don't know, and I want to work with you. I said, why not? I can work with you. So that's how I started working with him. So we started moving phone all over the world until, moving phone all over the world until we are rated #1 in the whole of West Africa in terms of phone distribution, accessories. So we won the award several times, you know. Even in my office, I can show you one of the awards. Let me not hide it. This is one of the awards.
Yeah.
You can read it. You will hear winner 2005. I don't know if you can read it. You know, and a lot of awards we won. You know, the best. This one you said West African Direct Marketing, West African Best Mobile Phone and IT Company of the year 2006. We won it for 2005, 2006, 2007. So it was like this is my life of distributing phone here and there, here and there. So, and I was focused on phone. I was focused on doing more. And it took me to many parts of the world. Another thing I would advise someone here, in any business you're doing, expose yourself, keep learning. It was in the course of doing this mobile that I had to go to Lagos Business School because I felt that my money had grown in 2004 and I didn't know how to manage it very well. I went to Lagos Business School for a training that lasted close to a year. It's called OMP. We enjoyed the OMP 4. And I stood under the tutelage of someone like Pat Otomi, someone like Professor Doyin Salami and the rest of them. So I kind of exposed myself, my mind expanded, and the guys I met there, I was the youngest in my class. You know, they were like, this woman, what are you doing here? What are you doing here? These are top bank MDs that I met in the place. And there I connected with them, and today they answer my classmates. Some of them are now in their 70s and 60s. So they answer my classmates. The link started moving from there, and that's my short story, how I made my first $1 million in my life. So it sounds so easy. Pick something from the story, not just I went there and I didn't go there. Pick something from the story. You can do it. You that are listening to me, you can do it. God has given all of us grace to do anything we want to do. Just make sure you are in touch with God. He positioned you at the right place at the right time, and that thing you are focused to do, you will do it. One day my dad called me and said, hey, young man, I'm hearing your name here and there. What's going on? It's like you made a lot of money. He didn't know I made so much money, and believe me, know what was happening. I was living in his house, so I refused to pack out. So we were 4 of us living in one room, 3 of my cousins. No, 3 of us living in one room, 2 of my cousins and I were just living in one room. But something was working for me then. I was making that money. I needed to be close to where I will have some watchdog. You know, somebody who will tell you, hey, why are you not back by 9 p.m.? So I was not staying out late. So I must come back 9 p.m. because my family must pray by 9 p.m. So somebody must wake you up by 5:30. My dad doesn't play with prayers. He must wake us up at 5:36. We say our prayers. So I was coming home. They could track my movement. My father could tell you where I was then because it's either I was in my office or I was in Dubai, hustling one thing or the other. And when I found out that, oh, okay, this money is there in 2003, I started, praying that God will give me a life partner that will come and manage with me. In 2004, we sealed it and started having children in 2006. So that's how I became a family man. And since then, I've never had time, looking around, for any other thing. My wife is so precious and has so helped me in my life.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Daniel said today's session is fire. Yes, and my time is fast spent, and there are so many other questions. We may not be able to take all the questions. Please, our viewers, we may not have to take all the questions. He is coming from another program he held, which finished or was ended today, so he needs to go and have his rest. However, sir, we still have more questions. Let me just ask you another question. Now, in fact, you've answered some of the questions already that I would have asked you. Let me ask you, what is, maybe in just maybe 2 or 3 sentences, what is your philosophy about success and fulfilling one's goals and dreams, even when they are so enormous for that person?
Okay, when we talk about success for me is like a journey. So there are so many things that happen in your life, your in life. When I passed JAMB, I felt I succeeded. When I gained admission in UNN, it was success for me. When I married, it was success. When I had the first baby, it was success. All kinds of things will be success for you in life. So for me, philosophy about success is all encompassing. It's not just a unit. It's so many things, facets of life. It's not too much money that defines success for me. You could have all the money in the world, but you're not happy, then you're not succeeding. If you have all the money in the world and you don't have relationship, you don't have a wife, you're not in good terms with, you don't have friends, you are alone, then you are poor. For me, as far as I'm concerned, you're not successful. So success is when you're able to do what is your passion. Like I said, what is my passion is entrepreneurship. When we were in the university, my friends were packaging themselves for good jobs. I had good results. I could get good job. When you talk about up here, I wouldn't say that I'm part of the top or not the bottom, but academically I would say that I could get any job I wanted to get. But there's something I made up my mind to do that I wasn't going to do for any job. That's what they call vision. I said, I will not be an employer, I will be an employer. It's a choice. I chose it myself. So when I was coming out from university, when I was serving, I had employed 2 people working for me. But when I was in the university as a student, I had people working for me because those people riding my Okada were my employees. They would tender account to me. And it was like life. So when you talk about philosophy of success here, it depends on that thing that is your pursuit, that thing that is your craving, that thing you love to do, that thing you love, that is your success. For me now, success is that, oh God, how can I do well in ministry? How can I do well, training my children, so that tomorrow somebody sees them and say, hey, here goes the son of Nnamdi. And I will be happy that I've succeeded training my children. That's success for me. And being able to send them anywhere they want to go, pay their school fees, put food on their table, and not begging around. That's success for me. So you see that it's not only about money, it's all about so many things about life. Success is when I'm healthy. Like today, I enjoy divine health. People may doubt it, but the last time you could say I was sick, seriously sick, was in 1998. After 20 years, I had a little what they call malaria. It was only my wife that told me it was malaria and gave me Coartem or something like that. I don't go to hospital. I don't fall sick. It is divine. So for me, like you're saying now, I've been busy for the past 4-5 days, ministry and doing this thing, but I'm so strong. Even if you want us to go another 4 hours, I'm in. So, I'm going on in it. But I still know how to manage myself anyway. But success is it's not when you defraud someone and you make money, you ride big car, you think that you're succeeding. That is not success. Success is not when you should change others. That is not success for me. That is that's criminal. So you should see yourself as a criminal instead of parading yourself as a successful young man. And part of the reason why I started doing my program, Business Matters, is to correct this impression that there is no legitimate way of making money. There are a lot of legitimate ways of making money. You have to understand it. There are a lot of legitimate ways of making money. So for people who don't have this understanding, they think that until you join 419, until you dupe people, until you deal with drugs, that's when you make money. And you say that is Nigerian case, Nigerian situation. Far from it, that is not success for me. So I can tell you from here to Germany or London that success is not when you have neither to have you have the money, you lose it. I will tell you that so many times I've come down in my life and God brought me up again. So the whole money one decision, one bad decision can take you out. In 2008, one bad decision, because I went into oil and I went bullish into oil business, and I was importing a boat, what they call shipload of oil to Nigeria. One bad decision. I didn't know that global crisis was setting in, and I was sitting on a lot of tons, tens of millions of dollars of oil, and the whole thing came crashing. I was not in Nigeria. I was actually in UK with my family doing holiday when all these things were happening, and the whole thing took me so down, and I got into crisis with a number of financial institutions and a lot of things. So it was not a mistake for me, but it's something like I said, to tell me that it's not about that money. So you might have all the money, and one day the money will grow wings and fly. So success is not just on the money you have or whatever. Success is, I mean, all encompassing is something here, left, right, up and down, and that's when you say that you are succeeding. And when you are, another way you are succeeding, when you're able to build some successor, you know, like it might be your son, it might be your wife, it might be your daughter. You know, that's when you say you're succeeding. So we have to look at success from different perspectives. I can tell you, you know, from here to anywhere, what you mean by success. Now, another thing about success is that when you have a vision, in life, then that vision will drive you. That vision will help you. It will be like a goal. You set for yourself and you're looking at it. That vision will be like a propeller for you. You can't be at rest until you keep chasing and getting at your vision. And as you are catching on your goal, you are expanding the goalpost. You know, keep driving. Don't relent. That's what I believe in life. And so, vision is the biggest driver for me. You know, I have vision of being so and so. I have vision of being in this area, in the other area, in the other area, in the other area. And the biggest vision I have here is, how can I help humanity? How can I use my God-given gift to help humanity? And the reason why I'm coming to your show is because you're doing a good job, something I love so much. You know, kind of empowering people through talk, telling them, encouraging those that are down, telling them that downfall of a man is not the end of his life, that you can actually get up. You know, I say it in places where I pastor. One woman one day had me, and when I was saying it the way I was talking to you today, one woman who felt that life has ended, she had uncompleted building, she felt she couldn't just continue with the building, there was no money anywhere. After listening to me one day, told me, you know, she came to the church and shared the testimony in a general church, and she wasn't from my parish. She heard me talking somewhere, and she went back to her house, and while she was there gazing at the house, one man came out, a neighbor, and said, "Madam, are you the owner of this house? I can see that work stop in this house. I can be of help. I'm your neighbor building so. I can give you some of the materials that I'm not using." And that's how she started work. And the man kept giving her materials, and she was able to build. And today she's a landlady in that house. So somebody could just get you to touch, you know, get up from your where you are trapped, and you know, go do something. Go do something. There is endless possibilities, and success is just staring at your face, waiting for you to just get up and declare that you want to chase at it, and you get it. You get it.
Hey. Oh my, thank you so much. Okay, so I'll just maybe one more question or two, and we'll draw the curtain. This is already past 7. Oh, thank you so much, sir. So now, sir, I'm glad that you are a pastor and a billionaire. Now, sir, some people believe that pastors who make millions of money, you know, make them either through any kind of dubious means. And then there's also another kind of belief that pastors are poor. In fact, people don't believe that any pastor who is rich on legit reasons. So now, sir, based on this your experience, now you're a pastor and you are a billionaire. What can you say in respect to what these people think or to their philosophy based on your experiences, sir? Thank you very much, sir.
Okay, if I start from how I got to the pastoral work, maybe you appreciate more why I will say what I want to say. However, the time is ticking. I promised my wife I'm taking her out this evening, but I've lost it. Scheduled for 7, but I lost it. I will apologize. Now, number one is that it depends on mentality. You know, down here in Africa, we have this straitjacket mentality about religion and who is a Christian. Christianity is synonymous to poverty. If you're a Christian, you shouldn't be rich. If you are rich, that means you're not righteous. I declare it all false. They are all fallacy, and if just a lie from a pit of hell. No, living a divine life, eternal life. The life called Zoe is like life as is in God. No, that life is life that is filled with all kinds of things you want in life. Anything you want is available. My God is a rich God. My Jesus became poor that I would be rich. Why should I be poor again when Jesus had already suffered that? That's my mentality. My mentality all the time is not to eat from the coffers of the church. I don't ask the church to give me to buy fuel for in my car or pay my children's school fees or do this. I don't try it. It's not my mentality. I believe that if they are giving in the church, nobody should outgive me as their pastor. And I will always tell my church that I will not pastor a poor church. If you're in this church, you don't have a winning mentality, then you're not listening to me. And for that reason, I had to go approach the authorities of the church where I pastor. I said, look, give me a leave to start teaching what is called prosperity touch every morning. So I do prosperity touch talk, like what you are doing now. I bring people come to talk to church early morning like this. And we take the first 45 minutes to discuss what is called prosperity touch, and he has said so many people, and I put us in that trajectory of successful or business success and breakthroughs in business and life. That's my mentality. So it depends on whatever any other person thinks. Now, if you are thinking that a pastor, I'm not saying pastors are Levites, so they are supposed to eat from what comes in the house of God. So it's not it's biblical. It's biblical. So if the church members are supporting their pastor, why not? But I'm not saying that a pastor should begin to live in affluence and all this showmanship, buy a moving convoy and the chain suit and the other kinds of come to display wealth. It's not necessary, because you're in Africa where people are contributing their hand-earned money. Poverty is everywhere, and their pastor is living in mansion and aspiring to buy private jet because others are buying, not because he has a vision of using the private jet to shuttle the rest of the world where he's going for ministration. If someone is buying private jet to go and minister in London and come back in Nigeria and go to Cameroon, fine and good, because they have capacity. Why shouldn't I buy a jeep if I have the money? Why shouldn't the next jeep I want to buy now is something that costs so much money? So if I have the money and I look at I can afford it, but before I buy anything, I save for it. Or I want to buy maybe Mercedes Brabus. I'm going to price it. They told me it's 150 million. I walked away. I don't have the money. One day I'm going to have the money. I will go back to the car store and say, I'm here for the Brabus. That's the car I want to ride. I want to buy maybe Lexus 570 2023 model, and I've gone to their place. They told me the price. I didn't have the money. I walked away. So I'm maintaining the one I have. If I have the money, I'll go and buy it. So because I can afford it. So now,
okay. Wow. I know we've really been getting so much value. Our guest, I think he just had a brief network issues, and we are almost at the end of this show. Come on, you've been with us for close to an hour, in fact for over an hour now. What have you learned? What is at least just one point that you are leaving this show with? See my book here. I have been writing. Yes, you trust me now. I do not want to miss a point. I have been taking down points. So you who have been listening to us, our viewers, what points have you noted? What points have you noted? You can write them in the comment section, and we'll be here to read them out. What lessons have you learned? What lessons have you learned? Are you afraid of taking risks? Are you afraid of taking risks? You say he has taken. If you listen to his story, you will observe that indeed he's a risk taker. He's indeed a risk taker. In fact, I haven't gotten to that point at all. And he actually challenged me there. He's, yeah, Esther says success is not all about the money you have. You got it there. It is not all about the money you have. It is way beyond that. It is about having a success. It's about impacting. Like it is about having using what you have to bless others. Success is not all about the money you have. Thank you, Esther, for your contribution. Others, what other lessons did you learn? What other points are you going home with? What other points? You know that this show is not, I am not doing this show because I just want to do it. No, I have a target. And my target for this show is that everybody who watches us, everybody who listens to us in this show will have something to go with. That they can say in the next 2 years, in the next 1 year, in the next 5 years, that because they joined into this show, they listen to a particular speaker or a guest, and this is the point that they went on with. They applied it, they applied the lessons they learned from the show, and that is why they are where they are today. This is what I am doing this show for. So if I am not impacting your life through this show, I am not achieving my vision for this. Daniel Anthony says that vision is a power driver on the highway to success. You got it right there, Daniel. You really are taking notes. Yes, he said that vision is a power driver on the highway to success, which means that without vision, you can't reach the destination. Without vision, you cannot reach the destination. And success is a journey to your destination. Success is not the destination. Do you know why? Because one thing is not enough for success. That you succeeded in one thing is not sufficient. There are many more to achieve. That is why success is a journey, just like our guest said. Success is a journey. So Rachel, you've joined us back. Please just tap on the video to join us live, and I'll bring you again on stage so that we can wrap it up and you go take your beautiful wife out today or tomorrow. Yes, so success is a journey, and vision is the driver. We are glad to also say that there is always a loophole, a problem in our society. Prefer a solution and boom, and that is just it. Prefer a solution. You know that, in fact, I tell people, see, if you look around, there is at least one problem to solve. You see that you need to be observant. You need to be observant. This man was observant. If he wasn't observant, he wouldn't have gotten to where he is. He wouldn't have hit those milestones. He was observant, and that was why he observed that there is a need. He observed that there is a. He observed that indeed they were going to move to the jet age, which is where we are today. You know that as at then, when he must have, been having but if he had communicated his dream or vision to some persons, they may have laughed at him and told him, "What are you thinking? Like, who would be in need of phone? What is even a phone in the first place? And to make calls, okay, you had this story of creating emails. Just email address. This one that I do here. Just email address is what he used to make millions. You can imagine. So he was observant enough to know that this is a need. And then he got the solution, he had the solution, and he preferred it. And because that thing was a need, people rushed to get it. People rushed to get. So please, if there's nothing else you are going home with, please go home with this. You've got to be observant. You've got to be observant. Observe things. As you go out, take time. Look, I don't know if I'm not one that talks, but I don't like talking too much, because I believe that when you're talking, you get distracted. Take time as you go out. Look around you. As you tune into the TV, and you browse through channels, observe things that are going on. Let me tell you something. Do you know that you could get a problem that needs to be solved through just through watching movies? In fact, yes, through watching movies. You know that people watch movies for relaxation, but I tell you that somebody who is very observant, while watching movies, he's not watching just for relaxation. Relaxation is one, but he's watching to observe. And as he's observing, as he's being keen to observe, he will find something. It may just be something, a statement that somebody in the movie said. And he will, okay? Yes. I'll get this back. So we'll be rounding up the show now that he's here. He's joining us now. We'll be rounding up the show and we'll call it a day in the next few minutes. Thank you very much, sir. You're welcome back, sir. So, sir, we just want to summarize here. I want to ask you, and I don't know, there's no time, but sir, one crucial question, because there's something you said. Sir, please, can you hear me first of all?
I can hear you very well. I'm very sorry about what happened. I don't know where the technicalities were coming out. The technical hitches, I don't know. Bombarded me.
It happens, yes, sir. So, please, sir, I want to ask, if this is the last question I ask, I'll be satisfied. You said something that struck me personally. You talked about how your mom introduced you to entrepreneurship, which means that if she hadn't, you may not have gotten exposed to it on time. Now, when you said that, it really hits me, and I want you to talk about this. Now, what can parents do, or what can you tell parents about preparing their children for the future? Aside taking them to school, aside that, what can you tell them about preparing their children for future in this our generation and even in the next generation to come? Thank you, sir.
Okay, now you are touching area I didn't want to expose. However, I want to say something about that. Like I said, it's a passion, and because my mother gave it to me free, and I kept asking myself, how am I going to leave it with this generation unborn? And then I would feel so fulfilled that it's done. So I created what's called Business Matters Incubators. The Business Matters Incubators is up there. If you search, you will find it. So, and part of what I'm researching in my thesis, in fact, when I did my thesis proposal, nobody could pick it apart from one lady, an Indian lady, who said, wow, I just want to see how this thing works. And now my proposal is how we're going to teach entrepreneurship in primary schools, so that we're going to churn out more entrepreneurs. If you've read the book, The Men That Built America, you see that these were entrepreneurs. And tomorrow, entrepreneurs are the ones that are creating jobs in America. You have the Amazon, you have the Elon Musk, you have all kinds of people. These are entrepreneurs that started from the scratch. Some of them didn't finish, they were school dropouts. So I felt, okay, how are we going to help Africa? Because the system of education we have here can only train you to get a job. But some few people who have opportunity to have been trained by the family, if you're living in a commercial environment, or you have parents that are both businessmen or entrepreneurs, you are lucky. But if you are not that lucky, and you have that ingenuity, you have that gift in your life, may not use it. Like you said, if you remain dormant and until you die, you see that you're not fulfilling your dream or your passion. So I decided to just do this study, to put it to a number of tests, a number of research process, and see how can we teach entrepreneurship in primary school. It was in the course of trying to dig for more information, doing my what is called a literature review, that I found out that actually Nigeria have it in their primary school plan that the children should learn entrepreneurship in the primary school. And so what has happened? They learn sport, they learn all kinds of things, but they are not learning entrepreneurship. And some people will say, oh, it's a distraction talking to children about money, but somebody wants to teach children about sex. So what are we talking about? So you need to create this mentality in our children, like they have in Japan, the Japanese children, they believe that you have to be creative from the cradle. So this is my research work, the thesis I'm writing it. I'm doing a lot of work about it. How do we get our children, our young, to learn entrepreneurship? And I will tell you what I've already done. One is that, how do we get parents and their children to sit down and talk? Because my daughter will bring in her homework. I will teach her mathematics. I will teach her English. There has never been a day my daughter could ask me, Dad, what do you do for a living? What is your business? Can you tell me about your business? So we have what is called a workbook that is going to help children, come home with a homework that will ask their mother, why did you go into teaching? Why did you go into being a lecturer? How, tell me your life story. Creating that platform, even if it's for 30 minutes, parents will be talking to their children. And then you'll be able to now pull that tacit knowledge and now drop it to the generation that are coming of the young. Because so many people have gone to grave with all they know without transferring the knowledge. So we have to create a platform where that happens. Now we're going to retrain the teachers to also make the children discover their talent. The little we try to run it in schools, I saw a young girl that is 10 who said, my passion is to sing. My mother told me I must be a medical doctor. And we told her, no, you can actually be yourself. And we started training her on that. Tell your mother, this is this, this is that. So we discover the talent, nurture the talent. That's why we call it incubator, Business Matters Incubator. So it's going to incubate that idea the children have and make them think ahead of their peers. So the search is, how do we create more entrepreneurs in Africa? Because Africa is dying. Africa is depending on government. The people that are able to get there steal all the money. I'm not accusing them, but that's what we see playing out. And people are wallowing in poverty and in the abyss of poverty. So how do we get more entrepreneurs to set up business in Africa and help Africa? Our best brains are being drained abroad. So who is going to help Africa? So they call it Japa syndrome. When are we going to come out of this mess? Our children, unless everybody will now transfer and become Europeans or become Americans, and Africa will die. So somebody has to rise up and say, how do we help Africa? But by creating more entrepreneurs. So when I came out of school, part of what helped me, one day I went for visa interview in the US Embassy in 2006, and the guy asked me, the guy didn't look at anything, he asked me, tell me about yourself. I said, I'm a young man who came out of the university and decided to be an entrepreneur, and I've been able to employ 249 people. The guy raised his head and said, what did you just say? I said, I am an employer of over 249 people. He now said, come back the next 3 days and take your visas. And on the premise of that, he gave me visas. We need more people. Supposing that I had 62 guys in my class, supposing that about half of us, 30 of us, were employing 200 out of the labor market, how many people will remain there? So if we keep creating entrepreneurs, then we grow the economy of Africa. That's the only thing that can grow the economy of Africa and bring us out of poverty and bring us out of all crime you hear about. It's either financial crime, cyber crime, all kinds of criminalities, killing and Boko Haram and the rest of things. It's all about poverty. It's all about poverty. Someone has to help Africa. And I'm crying out, and anybody that can join me in this campaign, how do we create more entrepreneurs? How do we teach entrepreneurship in primary school? Because if you don't teach entrepreneurship in primary school, you've taught children about science, this, that. Okay, they're all made up their mind. Going to secondary school, I want to be a doctor. I want to be this. I want to be that. Nobody is saying that. And they say, oh, in the university now they have set a school for business studies and that. If somebody has groomed and they got into a point that he wants to be an engineer, you now tell him, okay, take a job, come and study entrepreneurship. You're kidding me, man. You're kidding me. So you need to apply that this mindset, from the young. And today, the children, they learn so fast. They're too smart. So you need to ingest some of this information in their head that you can actually grow tomorrow and become the next Dangote. And the child is thinking about it. Can be the next Dangote. What will I do? How do I get myself in that path that will drive me to land where Dangote is today? How can I listen? Who will mentor me? So that mentorship starts from the school, from the primary school to secondary school to the universities. Then we're going to have more entrepreneurs. I'm an engineer, a trained engineer, but I'm an entrepreneur today because my mother trained me, like you said. My mother gave me the opportunity, and I found how to convince somebody to buy something from me. So that's marketing. That's understanding the rudiments of business, the mentality of an entrepreneur. Refusing to eat, working hard, saving. Like I teach my children, you need to save. Where's your piggy bank? What do you have in your piggy bank? Now you have this in your piggy bank. I need to teach you about money. I need to teach you about what is fiat. I need to teach you about what is Bitcoin and why do we have this technology today called, all kinds of technology about money, e-money and the rest of them. So I'm teaching my children. I'm teaching my child. This is why dollar is higher than naira. Because somebody came one day and was giving my children gift and get $100 and brought 1,000, and my daughter took 2,000 from him and refused the 1,000 to the $100. And my child take the $100. No, this is two, and this is 1,000, and she was happy. Now because nobody taught her, so I was able to tell her, you know that $100 was about 75,000 naira today, and you only took 2,000. That's a shame of you. Because she didn't know. Somebody to teach her. So I said that this is something my doctoral thesis is studying, and we've started creating it. We've done a lot of research on it. If you go to, in fact, we created cartoon. We call where children will learn from watching the cartoon. They will learn how to, save, how to start a small business, how to, we were able to get all those young millionaires around the world who started business as a result of passion. This one said, I don't want bees to go extinct, and I was able to create honey lemonade and the rest of, a lot of things that we found, researching all these things that we distinguish Africa going forward. We're not talking about today, we're talking about the Africa of tomorrow. And believe you me, we have to work hard. I can talk, but I'm conscious of your time also.
Yes, wow. Thank you so much, sir. We have indeed gotten so much value and we appreciate you. I know our viewers are also so excited. I know they are really to still listen, but our time is fast spent. So with this, we have come to the end of this month's episode on Unscripted on the Impact Show with Phoebe. This is the one platform where you get premium value from top guests, okay? Guests from various fields, various sectors of life come here to give you expo on how to succeed. Like I always say, we are all about discovering your purpose and fulfilling your dreams. I always tell you that I bring people on this stage who have fulfilled their dreams and still are. See, there is nothing you are pursuing that is beyond you. Okay? No matter the kind of vision or dream you have for yourself, it is not beyond you because you have everything to get it done. Okay? I repeat, you have everything to get it done. You have the human resources. Yes, your eyes may not be open to them yet. It is true. It happens. But you can discover them. Okay? By studies, by research, by prayers, you can discover them. See, there is a mentor that I got. Okay? I know that I got a mentor because of the months and years I spent praying to God to give me a mentor who would guide me. And I tell you the truth, if God had not given me this man, I don't think that I'll be where I am today at this time. See, when I check my achievements so far, I know that it is because God has sent this man to me. He has been there to sustain me, to advise me, to support me. That is why I am where I am today also. Listen, whatever your dreams are, and let me tell you something also. Do you know one of the reasons why this my mentor decided to work with me? He saw my vision. He saw my vision. My vision is so I gave him a detailed information about what I want to do, about what I am pursuing and what I have started doing. So you need to start something. You need to start something, okay? As you're watching us today, please endeavor that when next you see me or our wonderful guest face to face, you will tell us that because of this show, you got this point or that point, you were revived. Your dream was revived, and you knew, you believed, and accepted that you could pursue it to the later, and today you have gotten it. Okay, this is what this show is about. And I tell you that with God on your side, and diligence, perseverance, and everything you put in, you will get there. Okay, you will get there. If our guest got there and is still doing more, come on, you can do more and even much more. Okay, so with this, we thank you so much, our wonderful guest engineer Namdi. I'm so grateful, Daddy. I'm so grateful, sir, for you accepting the show. And please, we will still send out to invite you in the future to please be with us in other programs. Thank you so much, sir. Our special victim. Thank you, sir. Our special victim also to your beautiful wife, Mommy. We appreciate it. Thank you for releasing him to us. Thank you so much, Ma. I appreciate it so much. To our viewers, thank you. Our next show will be announced next month. And if you want to join us on the show, you want to advertise your products or your business, see, this is a platform for you, okay? This platform is made for you to also talk about what you do and let the viewers know you and patronize you. I want you to scale your business. So if you want to do that, send me a message and we'll talk about that. And with this, we draw the curtain here. See you next time.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Bye.